Shuaib, or Shuaib, or Shuḥayb, was an ancient Midianite prophet, sometimes identified with the Biblical Jethro. He is mentioned in the Qur'an a total of 11 times. He is believed to have lived after Abraham, and Muslims believe that he was sent as a prophet to a community, the Midianites, also known as the people of the tree, since they used to worship a large tree. To the people, Shuaib proclaimed the faith of Islam and warned the people to end their fraudulent ways. When they did not repent, God destroyed the community. Shuaib is understood by Muslims to have been one of the few Arabian prophets mentioned by name in the Qur'an, the others being Saleh, Hud, and Muhammad. It is said that he was known by early Muslims as the eloquent preacher amongst the prophets, because he was, according to tradition, granted talent and eloquence in his language. Historical context: the main town Shuaib was sent to is named Madian in the Qur'an, known in English as Midian, which is frequently referred to in the Hebrew Bible. The preaching of Shuaib, however, is covered nowhere in the Hebrew Bible. The Midianites were said to be of Arab descent, though being neighbors of the biblical Canaanites, they intermixed with them. It is said they were a wandering tribe, and that their principal territory at Moses' time was the Sinai Peninsula. A figure of Shuaib himself is absent in Jewish tradition. Although frequently identified with the Midianite priest Jethro, most modern scholars reject this identification as it is made without any solid grounding. Aside from having no similarity in names, there are chronological differences. Classical commentators, such as Ibn Kathir, say Shuaib prophesied 4 generations from Abraham. Shuaib is believed to have been the son of Michael, son of Issachar, son of Midian, son of Abraham. Scholars who take this to be true believe that the identification with Jethro is, as a result, rendered irrelevant, as Jethro, who lived at the time of Moses, would have been active hundreds of years later. Prophecy in Midian. The Quran states that Shuaib was appointed by God to be a prophet to the people who lived east of Mount Sinai, the people of Midian. The people of this land were said to be especially notorious for cheating others through dishonesty and for idolatry. Shuaib's prophecy mainly involved calling the Midianites to the correct path of God and forbidding them to worship false gods. It is also said he told his people to stop being dishonest in their daily activities. Although he preached and prophesied for a sustained period of time, the majority of the people refused to listen to him. Shuaib, however, remained steadfast. He consistently preached powerfully against the wicked, telling them of the punishment that had befallen the sinful before them. Shuaib warned the people that their ignorance would lead to the destruction of Midian, giving historical examples of earlier prophets, including Noah, Hud, Saleh and Lot, all of whose people had been destroyed by God. The people taunted Shuaib and told him that, were it not for the prestigious family he came from, he would surely have been stoned to death. Shuaib replied, "Is my family of more consideration with you than God?" When the Midianites refused to believe, they were destroyed by a mighty earthquake. The Quran, however, mentions that Shuaib, and his believing companions, were rescued from the thunderous punishment. Parallel with other prophets, Shuaib's mission is often mentioned in the Quran with the mission of Noah, Hud, Saleh and Lot. Scholars have pointed out that these 5 prophets exemplify the early prophetic missions. The prophet would be sent to his community. The community would pay no attention to his warning and would instead threaten him with punishment. After years of preaching, God would ask him to leave his community and his people would be subsequently destroyed in a punishment. Scholars interpret the listing of the 5 prophets to be chronological, with Noah being the only prophet in the list who preached before the Great Flood. He was also a descendant of Prophet Abraham. Shuaib's tomb. The tomb of Shuaib is well preserved in Jordan. It is located 2 kilometers west of the town of Maris in an area called Wadi Shuaib, although Islam also attributes other sites located in the Sinai Peninsula and historical Palestine. Another site recognized by Druze as the tomb of Shuaib, Nabi Shuaib, is located in Itin in the Lower Galilee. Each year on April 25, the Druze gather at the site to discuss community affairs. See also, Biblical narratives in the Quran, Legends and the Quran, Qasas al-Anbiya. References